From Clint, how many times will it take a team ranked 5 through 12 to win the national championship for you to say you were wrong about playoff expansion? Or am I missing your reason for being anti-expansion? Well, Clint, I think you may be. I didn't ask you this because it's sort of rhetorical, but I would ask you if you were here right now, what is my stance? Why didn't I necessarily love expansion? As I said on the show the other night, I'm not going to continue to relitigate this. I'm a realist. I accept what is, and I can't change it. But why, for the record, was I anti-expansion? Well, it's certainly not because of what Clint suggested there. What Clint suggested is, as soon as a 9 seed wins the title, that means you were wrong about expansion. Well, I never suggested they couldn't. It's quite the opposite, Clint. I listened, and I don't know how Clint stands on this matter, but I listened to a lot of people who were pro-expansion, expansionists, if you will, and I listened to your reasoning. And a lot of you, not all, I don't want to paint with a broad brush, but a lot of you told me, I'm tired of the same old teams winning. I'm tired of the same old teams consisting of the final grouping. I'm tired of the Alabamas and Clemsons and Georgias and Ohio States of the world being the only ones that really get a perennial shot at the dance. And I was like, okay, that's your feeling. I can't tell you your opinion is wrong. It's just how you feel. It never bothered me, but at least I understand how that could bother you. I get it. It's sort of redundant. You want some more parity. You want some fresh water flowing into the pond. I get it. Here's my beef with the expansionist crowd for the sake of more brands being included and what expansion actually means. Because I just watched the college football playoff like you did, and I didn't see Bama there. And I didn't see Clemson there. And I know full well the model that you're advocating for is a model that will, sure enough, make sure Alabama's in every playoff and Clemson's in every playoff. Now, since this is one microphone here and you guys are having to listen to me, I have to make your argument for you. And I've gotten pretty good at it because I know you guys very well. So someone out there is in the gym right now, or someone's driving in their truck right now, and you're yelling at me. Well, yeah, but they were always going to make it anyway. I want more seats for new teams. That's where I have beef part 2. No, they don't always make it. No, they're not always already there. I just asked you, and I'll ask you again. Where was Bama this last playoff? They were just on the outside looking in. Where was Clemson? They were just on the outside looking in. Not by far. Not by far. And certainly close enough to where if you expanded, if you lowered that bar a little bit, they'd be in. So, Clint, your question was, how many 5 through 12 seeds have to win the playoff for me to admit I was wrong? It depends on what the conditions are to your question, because I'm going to hit you with a question in return. I'm going to very unprofessionally answer your question with a question. If Alabama loses 2 regular season games and they end up locking down the 9 seed in the expanded playoff and they win the title, does that mean I was wrong, or does it mean I was right? Because I'm telling you right now, the bar is still high enough where even the Alabamas of the world aren't automatically guaranteed clearance. They still have to perform. They still have to get the job done. Alabama lost 2 regular season games this past year, and given the structure of the rest of the field, I didn't think Alabama deserved a shot to play for a national championship this past year. I didn't think Clemson deserved a shot to play for a national championship this past year. That doesn't mean if they got in, they wouldn't have won the whole thing, though. I think Alabama would have had a reasonable shot at winning the entire thing if they got in. So my point is not that it's impossible for teams 5 through 12 to win the title. I just think that people are romanticizing what that would look like. You're thinking Kansas State making a run from a 10-seed position, or you're thinking sort of an upstart brand like a Washington making a run. And I'm telling you, I hate to break your heart, Clint, the far more likely scenario for a 5 through 12 winning a title is an Alabama or an Ohio State stumbles a couple of times, and stumbles that otherwise would have kept them out of a 14 playoff end up not being enough to kill their shot, and they get in, and then they take still the most talented rosters in the field, and they have a few weeks to prepare, and they end up winning a title because you're giving them not a second chance, in some cases not even a third chance, but a 4th chance. They only play 12 games in this sport. Like, if you're losing 2 or especially 3 of your games, you've lost a quarter of your regular season games. Now, the caveat there is I think it could dissuade teams from scheduling tougher out-of-conference games. And what I'm saying is someone could listen to my argument and say, you're just encouraging people to load up on cream puffs instead of challenging themselves. No, not that at all. I am suggesting to you there should be uniformity in scheduling across the board so we don't even have to make that counter argument. That's what I'm saying. But Clint, as I end every playoff segment by saying, and I'll say it again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right. Because I certainly am not interested in looking at the sport 5 years down the road saying, I don't like this. I certainly want to look around and say, I like this. I just don't know if I'm going to like this.
Guys, thanks for watching Late Kick. Make sure and leave a comment. I love interacting with you. But most of all, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's how we keep all of this free.